going on, guys? I'm Ricardo. I'm Ricardo. Everyone calls me Rico, though. I just kind of want to give you guys a background of who I am, why I created this channel, and I'm new to YouTube. I'm new to this whole thing, so I'm gonna be saying and whatnot. I'm gonna be tripped up and on my words, so just bear with me as I get more comfortable speaking to the camera. But anyway, I started this channel because I love to travel, and because of that, I decided to do so. Right, I'm from New York. I have a fairly decent life. Right, I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I am a therapist on the side. I've worked in New York in a psychiatric hospital for over 10 years. I have private clients. I have my own apartment. I have a car. I have all the things that look good on paper, but something was still missing. Something was still missing. And I'm not sure what that is. I was in a 4 year relationship that was going okay until it wasn't. And what I realized the issue is that I need to find happiness within myself first before I can pour into anyone else. And so I love her. I think she was great. I think she was awesome. It's just that I wasn't ready. And we were together for 4 years. We moved in together, and things just went downhill, unfortunately. And again, nothing to do with her. She did what she had to do as a woman. She cooked, even though she worked full time. She took care of me. Anything I wanted, she'll adjust to me. And I realize that now, and I appreciate her for that. But something was going on with me. Something was going on inside. I'm not sure what it was. And I think that's the issue with a lot of us. We're just not sure what something is missing, and we just can't pinpoint it. And that's where I'm at in my life. I do know that back to the traveling is that that's actually when I feel good, right? That's when I feel alive. That's when I feel like I'm worthy for some reason. Um, and so I decided to quit everything, right? And I quit my job, which again, I was making over $100,000 in New York, which is pretty good. Um, what else? I gave up my apartment, and I literally gave away all my stuff to family and friends, all my furniture, everything. Got rid of it. Um, what else? Yeah, I got rid of my lease, and then I decided to move to Texas. Actually, so I drove my car to Texas, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start over here, a slower pace, a slower life. Sure. So drove 26 hours from New York to Texas. Now I'm in Texas. Now I'm in Texas. I'm sitting there, and it just came to me. It just really dawned on me. Like, hold on, bro. You've never been free like this ever. You've been working since you were 14 years old. Since you migrated here, immigrated here from Jamaica, right? Your parents has been working. Your parents been working all their life, and then now you've been working since you was 14. This is the first time you're not tied to a lease. You're not tied to a job that you only get 2 weeks vacation. You're not tied to a girlfriend or a wife. You don't have any children. So, obviously I have student loans. Unfortunately, I got some student loans, and I have a car lease. But those are pretty manageable. I was pretty smart. I don't drive a fancy car, so that those are pretty manageable. So, with student loans, honestly, you could put that on hold for a little while. That's always going to be there. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, you're finally free, bro. You're finally free somewhat to go and explore. I've traveled a bunch of places before. If you go on my Instagram, I love to travel, but uh, you only get 2 weeks. You only get 2 weeks when you're tied to a job. Some people get a month, but nonetheless, you have to come back. You kind of have to tailor your trip because you have to come back to the States. You have to pay bills. You have to do all of that. This is the first time I didn't have any of that. This is the first time I didn't have any of that. So I'm on this journey. Um, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out. I do know I'm very happy right now. As you can see, I'm chilling by the pool. Great background. I'm in Indonesia at the moment. I'm just gonna travel Southeast Asia. I'm gonna let my money stretch as long as it can. I don't have much to be honest. And I'm not trying to come here and just spend all my money and go back to the States broke, just in case something doesn't happen. So I have a very limited amount of money, and I'm just trying to stretch it as long as I can, right? I'm not staying nowhere fancy. The homestay I'm at is pretty chill. I'm not trying to do anything fancy. I just want to live a life that I can afford, and kind of get back to who I am and try to figure out who is it that I want to be. What kind of man do I want to be? How do I want to show up in relationships? How do I want to show up in friendships? How do I want to show up to the world? Right. So that's gonna be the challenge, is to figure out who I am. So listen, obviously I'm gonna be exploring. I'm gonna be one thing I love is like chilling, like I'm a local, going to local spots or whatever. So I will be showing y'all all of that, and sometimes I'm gonna be checking in. I'm gonna be checking in and let y'all know where I'm at mentally, and this is really a budget friendly trip. So I'm not this ain't a luxury. I'm not here to be this luxurious life. I have a limited amount of funds, and I'm just gonna stretch it, right? I'm gonna travel throughout the whole Southeast Asia. And have it take me as far as I can. Okay, so I'm in Indonesia now. I probably go to Malaysia, obviously Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and we'll see. We'll see. So I appreciate you guys for sticking around. First of all, if you made it this long, thank you. Thank you for even sticking around. But just in general, I just follow my journey. Obviously, your words of encouragement is very important. Continue to show some love, and we'll see. We'll see. All right. Be right back.